Welcome back to Pony Wars. In the last episode, we went over the cars and their specs, and we also went in depth on the rules so you know what's going on. In this episode, we're going to be going over baseline numbers, what the cars do in completely stock form. Last episode, you got to meet the builders, and we talked about the cars a little bit, but now you actually get to see numbers, get to see how fast they go down the drag strip, you get to see how fast they go around corners at the road course, and you get to see how much power they make on the chassis dyno. I mean, you want numbers, you want to see what these cars do, right? After that's all done, both of these cars are getting a $5,000 build budget. That's stage one, and that's when the competition and the points begin. All of the parts and pricing are coming from Summit Racing, and the $5,000 builds and budgets, that's when the competition really begins, and we start adding up points. And then they get put through the ringer, all of those courses, road course, drag strip, chassis dyno. But just because one of these cars wins with $5,000 put into it, doesn't make it the winner. Because after that, we're gonna put an additional $15,000 into that car. That one and that one. But for now, we need to get the Mustang. I think the Mustang on the chassis dyno. I'm gonna roll it over the chassis dyno, so why don't you follow me over there? We just got the baseline numbers for the Mustang, and I have Steve Turner here with me to talk about the numbers. So got the numbers in, and the maximum power was at 356 horsepower at the rear tires, and the torque was at 357.23 pound-feet. Is that kind of what you were expecting? Is that a higher number, a lower number? Walk me through it a little bit.
Initially, it was a little lower than I expected. It's really kind of in the ballpark for what one of those cars will put down to the rear wheels. Obviously, like to get a little bit more to start with, but you know.
Welcome to KHPW Channel 1. I'm Brian Petty, and this is what's making horsepower tonight. We start our broadcast off with our horsepower forecast. Chase, what do you have for us?
So what's up, man? You wanna go out and party tonight? Make some hits in Mexico? Hey, thanks, Brian. As you can see here, we've got a nice high pressure torque curve rolling in from the east. That's launching horsepower up to the 408 rear wheel horsepower range. That torque carries across at 425 pound-feet for a long time. Obviously, this is gonna lead to some rainy days in Mustangville, but as you can see in Camaroville, we're good to go. Back to you, Brian.
Now we need to see how that horsepower forecast is gonna play out at the drag strip. Reporting live is Petty Power Outer in Fontana, California, and he's got some predictions of what he thinks that forecast is gonna do for the Camaro.
Hey, what's up, guys? What, you don't hang out on tires either? We wanted to shout out to Mickey Thompson for not only sponsoring Horsepower Wars and bringing it to you. They make a quality tire, and I can testify that they hold in a lot of heat. If you need tires, hit them up. They got you. And I'll see you guys later.
They also sent us a pair of these ET Street SS's. These are 275/40 R20 to go on our factory wheels on the Camaro, but they also sent them over for the Mustang. It's gonna allow them to be on equal footing and get all of that power to the pavement, so traction isn't a deciding factor in them. So we're gonna do initial guesses for what this is gonna run?
I'm gonna say 12.2 at 116.
You're going to 12.2?
12.2, 116.
I'm gonna say 12.4, 115.
113, a 178 and 60. Freaking killed it in 60 foot, killed it in quarter mile, killed it in mile per hour. This car, last time I saw, this car is rated at 12.3 quarter mile, and I just went 12.15. You know, whatevs. 178 and 60, I am on cloud 9 right now. Because that's a killer 60 for a car with a factory torque converter.
Cloud 9, even though the car did all of the work.
Oh, whatever. I did the burnout and I pushed the gas pedal down.
And I hole shotted him.
Oh.
Bam!
Of course.
What was your reaction time? Pull that back out.
No, I don't need to pull it back out. We're good. I'm gonna put a 13.1. 13.1 at 109 miles an hour. That's what I'm gonna say.
I say 13.2 at 107.
This is Pony Wars Podcast. I'm Brian Petty. I'm joined with, here in the studio, Chase Christensen. He's there.
That's me.
He's just going to be silent. Okay, but we need to talk about the baseline numbers for Pony Wars from our Camaro and our Mustang at the drag strip. The Camaro and the Mustang. Chase, talk to me.
The Camaro's the greatest of all time. It's a dynasty, right?
Dude, this Camaro's been around for 2 years is because the 5th gen was so bad. It was so terrible. They had to replace it really quickly because they're like, dude, terrible. We got to get an LT in the Camaro.
5th gen brought the Camaro back to prominence. How dare you?
I don't give a what happened to Detroit. I don't give a what happened in Kentucky. What I care about is the Mustang not getting credit where it's due.
Baselines, Camaro went 12.15.
It went faster. It went faster.
12.15 out of the box. Busted the Mustang's ass that ran an anemic 12.95.
I love the LT. I think it's a great factory platform, but past that, no, man.
Dude, I'm not saying Coyotes aren't fast, but you're
that Ford is going to come back and whip it. But we got to get to the road course because we're done with the baselines at the drag strip. The Camaro was faster. It was. I don't hate the LS. I don't hate the LT. It's just, it's not as far as I hoped it would be at this point in its life. Take it to the road course, Chase.
We made a quick trip to Buttonwillow where we could flog our 2017 Mustang and Camaro. And I've got two very experienced drivers here with me to tell you who they are. We're going to start out with Drake.
What's up, guys? My name is Drake Kemper. Been a professional race car driver for 6 years now. Normally you could find me in the IMSA Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge paddock, but today we're at Buttonwillow with some street cars.
Rob Kreider, NASA Road Racing Champion. Happy to be out here to beat up these cars and put them through their paces at Buttonwillow.
It's time to get these two on the track, find out what they're really made of. Welcome back to HPWPN, the worldwide leader of horsepower, and we've just got done with the Camaro versus Mustang match, or race, and we're gonna take it step by step and kind of dissect what these teams did wrong and right.
Yeah, and the Mustang did some stuff right. And so did the Camaro.
As did the Camaro.
Well, we're just going to have to see in the first lap
the
with
Camaro did better.
The Mustang. The Mustang. We'll see once we have the times in.
Let's get to the footage. All right, let's go to the replay. As you can see here, the Mustang has a solid foundation, but it's missing some fundamental components, as you can see as it dives into turn one.
I don't know if I agree with that, but it looks like the driver's doing pretty well. Looks like he's driving it.
He is definitely driving it. Thanks, Brian. I am glad we hired you. Anyways, the car is staying composed through the turns, but it seems to be lacking some of the capabilities that we're seeing in other, let's say, better teams.
I'm gonna have to disagree. That was 120 miles per hour that I just saw on the speedometer. So no, I do not agree. The mechanical suspension is superior.
Disagreements aside, Brian, how do we feel like the Brembos that were added to the Mustang are doing in this situation?
I don't know why you got to bring up old. But the Brembos are going to stop just as well on this as they do on the Camaro.
I was just asking an opinion, but we have
you know
the Mustang here coming back down to the back straight. It's about to complete its lap.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to be quick. It's going to be fast.
And we're across the line.
2:10.392 seconds.
Oh, basically it's just, it's street car stuff. So you essentially you can smell the brake pads right out of the gate.
Right.
So you first get like a pretty good initial cold bite.
Right.
And then you start picking up the speed, and then they just went away.
2 minutes, 10 seconds, 0.392. That's quick.
It's decent. It's a great starting run to their season, but they have some fundamental lacks in their game plan.
We are deep in the season. It's not a beginning. It's going to kill it.
No, this is beginning of the season. They've got a long road to go. They don't have a franchise pilot. We're still trying out 2 different pilots.
Franchise pilot, it's the same racer driving both.
I know, but there's 2 racers going at it, you know?
Okay.
We're looking for that franchise racer, and it's a good sophomore effort, but I just don't think it's going to get it done this season.
We need to get to the Camaro, we need to look at the lap, and we need to see how much faster, slower it's going to be.
Let's see how the rest of the race went. Here we have the Camaro blistering down the straightaway leading into turn 1.
Blistering is an over-exaggeration, okay? It's pretty quick. He's hopping around a little bit, so the driver's doing
Yeah, but you can see as the pilot moves outside the pocket that he's fluid, he's reading the field in front of him.
But he's staying in the key for way too long.
No. He's doing what he was taught. He trained behind the best, and he's doing what he was trained. He's looking upfield. He's ready for the next corner. The Camaro and the magnetic ride suspension are soaking up those bumps.
Says
make
you.
the car
Says
really
you.
neutral.
I don't know. I don't agree. The mechanical versus magnetic.
I've talked to Drake before he was ready for this, and he said that this car was pretty neutral.
Sure.
Looks like those R888R tires are really hugging those corners. Thanks for sending them over, Toyo.
Nah, just smooth as glass coming into that corner. This is the straight, but see, look, the speed's almost exactly the same. Look how close. Oh, come on. It's gonna be
209.046.
I did 2 cool down laps.
Good.
Because right when I started my first one, pedal to the floor.
Go brake.
Oh, all the way to the floor. I was like, where's the e-brake? And it's a foot one.
You saw it. There was a 1 second split, 2 minutes and 9 point whatever.
0.046.
Of course he's gonna.
It was a solid second lead.
Just rub it in.
No, the Camaro looked great. It was composed and moved across the field well, and the driver obviously had great field vision. It was moving just like we expected to, and that's going to make a big difference.
The gap was so tight. 1 second. Is the Camaro going to make it to the Mickey Thompson Bowl?
It was the same gap we saw at the drag strip, a full second. That's a big gap. It's a big lead. I think the Mustang's going to struggle this year. They have some fundamental deficiencies.
We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see.
No,
because
they've got some fundamental deficiencies.
It doesn't matter.
The Camaro looks great.
Take it away, me. Well, that finishes up baseline testing for our Mustang and our Camaro, and you saw it. This thing is a force of nature, completely stock. It's quick. The Mustang's got a pretty big gap to fill up, but we want to hear from you. Do you think it's going to fill up that gap with that $5,000 budget? Because coming up in the next episode, the $5,000 budgets are going to be done and the cars are going to be built, and then we're putting them on the dyno, and that means the competition really starts because the first 2 points are on the line with the $5,000 budgets and the dyno. So keep watching, keep following, tell us what you think, and we'll see you next time on Pony Wars.
He's thinking that we're going to be able to dial this in pretty quick, and he's thinking low 4s.
That intake sounds good.